Hey, how's it going? This is Coach Ray, and we're live here at the studios of the Brownsville Royal Knights. How's it going? It's been a while. I said I was coming back. I've been really busy, so sorry, but tonight we're going to do a test show. We may start doing them more. I mean, no, not we may. We're definitely going to start doing them more often. I've just been, wow, extremely busy, guys, and you know how that is. We have a tournament tomorrow. We have the girls tournament up at the university here in Brownsville, and it shall be a really cool deal. Let's see what's going on here. Am I live? I am live. So great. Yes. Ooh, can there we go. Let's shut that up because we don't want to get some feedback, right? All right, so let me turn this off. So how you guys doing? You guys doing okay? Everybody pretty cool out there in wherever you're at today? Wow. Let's see, hold on. Let me copy this link and send it over to somebody that wants to see it. And there we go. All right. So great, man. I had some chess lessons today over at the Harlington Mall. Awesome time with young Santos. He's a fourth grader. That man, this past weekend he played against middle schoolers and high schoolers, and he went up pulling out a I think 3 points and wound up pointing on like 18th place, man, which is really great. I basically told him today, hey, doesn't matter how big they are, it's what you got up here and what you've worked on. And so, man, that is so cool, man, that he's able to do that, right? Let's see. So, for those of you that are watching, Samantha, which is his younger little girl, his younger little sister, placed third in her division primary, and that was her second tournament, guys, and she's already gaining in some trophies. She will not play this weekend, but we're getting her ready for. Actually, I'm getting ready. I'm getting everybody ready for nationals because that team in particular got first place at nationals in the under 1,000 primary section. And so I told him, hey, you guys already went to the big leagues. You went to the big mountain. You won a trophy. You won trophies and took first place as a team. And so guess what? You're coming back next year and, you're going to bring some more trophies. So we're working on that. The idea is when you train guys, the idea is to train for 3 tournaments. And that's it, basically regional, state, nationals. And of course, if there's any other nationals that you go to, like for instance, your greats tournament, those are really good. Those are nationals. There's also great state valley. There's going to be a state great tournament here in October. I believe I'm not too sure on the date. It's on my Facebook already, but it's going to be here in the Valley, guys. And this is a tournament where all grades play together. And so, hey, Virginia, how's it going? Virginia's all the way from Garden City, Kansas. How's it going, love? And so the idea here is that each kid, for instance, all second graders play in second grade, all third graders play in third grade, and so on, all the way to 12th grade. So that's a very special tournament that normally is done either in the Houston area or in the Dallas area. And so whenever you guys have tournaments here in the Valley, hey, go to them, support them because, man, they don't come too often. And what they do, man, we want to make sure that they have a good number so they want to come back. All right, so cool deal. Anyway, enough talk. Let's get into some tests here. Let's see who comes in. I just set up the show right now. I was in the mood of doing a show, and so, man, let's do it. Let me share a screen, and let's take it from there. All right, so we got this guy here. Let me go in there, and boom, you see the screen? Hey, we're missing a king. Let's put a king here. Let's put a knight there, and we're missing a king on this side, and let's put maybe a knight over here, and yeah, let's keep it at that. Let's keep it at that right there. So let's analyze this position. We'll start with a little bit of an end game. End game is the last part of the game that you play when you're playing chess. The last part, and you want to make sure it looks good, And so in this situation here, White has 2 pieces. He's got the he's got the knight and he's got the rook. Hey, look at here. Hey, Star. No time, no see, man. How's it going? Doing good? Hey, go Cowboys, right? and so White has two minor pieces. A minor and a major. The knight's a minor and the rook's a major piece. So he's got two pieces, and Black only has one. So the idea here is very simple. Quite frankly, guys, the idea here is very simple. Let's go. Those of you that have not been around here, these are 6 steps. The idea here is end game skills. Remember the six. Remember the 6 end game skills here. And so, what are they, guys? So I'll review them. Step number 1: get rid of your problem. Who is your problem? Your opponent's pieces. And by pieces, I mean your rooks, the knights, the bishop, and the queen. Normally in the end game or the last part of the game, there's not a queen, but there's other pieces there. But normally there might be a rook, there might be some knights, there might be some bishops. In this case, the problem is the black knight. So the first step here, or the first idea here, is to fight to get rid of the knight. So that's what we want to do. Step number 2 is attack the weak pawns, or any pawns that are unprotected. In this case, the weak pawn would be this pawn right here. The d6 pawn, the d6 pawn here would be a weak pawn because he's a backward pawn. As some of you know, a backward pawn is a pawn that has already moved but is now behind pawns. So therefore, he's not protected by other pawns. Therefore, he's going to be a problem because pieces or the king need to get involved, or need to, kind of go in there and protect the dumb little pawn because you stayed behind, that kind of deal. So those are the 2 ideas that you want to create when you're going to on an end game here. Get rid of your problem and attack the weak pawn. So the idea here is perhaps we can maybe move, the knight here. Why? Because it attacks the knight directly. We don't mind exchanging. We want to get rid of the knight. If he captures our knight, we capture back. He captures a pawn. We still have a rook, and we can still win this game. So let's say he moves out of the way. So where can we go next? Well, the idea again is to attack the knight. How do we attack the knight? Very simple. We move the rook here, and boom, we're attacking the knight. And the knight better get out of there, or he's going to have problems. So guess what? He cannot move back here, because obviously if he does, then we have a pin and we will win the knight for free. The knight can no longer move. The pawns cannot move. The king has to move maybe here, and we would capture. And maybe he goes here, and we would totally destroy him here. Totally. We would simply go here. He goes here, and we can just go to that. And the king is stuck back here. We would bring the king over here, somewhere here, and then checkmate him. Very, very simple. Very simple move, right? Okay, that's if that happens, right? So let's take that back. So the idea is that this rook is attacking the hand. Hey, Alan, how's it going? Best chess coach in Brownsville. You got it, Alan. How's it going, man? How's life treating you, man? Alan. Alan was part of the amazing Porter high school team back in the day. I remember they used to come over to my house and we used to do lessons, and man, we did amazing things with that team. My son was in there. This dude named Aussie that everybody knows. Aussie's a 2000 or 2100 or something now. And there was other Ben was part of that team. I mean, there was a lot of good kids now that are doing amazing things. They're living their life large or whatever, man. So they're good. And Alan's one of them, man. So anyway, that's the move. The rook moves over to attack the knight cannot go back here because he's going to lose. So the only position he's got free to go to is the knight simply moves there. Yes, he's a national master. Orale, man. Us is an interesting story, man. Yeah, I remember. Do you remember that trip that we went to? Where did we go? We went to Houston for the state grade, and Pobre Aussie didn't win a single game, and even a girl beat him. And on the way back, boo! Even a girl beats you, And but then what happened the following year? He practiced, we got together, and man, the dude went up to 1500, and that was his junior year. And then the following year, he graduated with a 1890. No, he graduated with a 1794 or something like that, because he wanted to be an 1800. And then once he got to the university, man, playing against some of those grandmasters, yeah, it's the dude's a national master, man. Hasn't really been playing that long. It's good times it was, Alan. And you guys were awesome. I thank you for allowing me to be your coach and mentor and all of that to you guys, man, because you guys are awesome. Anyway, so the knight goes back here to G7, and of course we're gonna pursue this dude. So now think about this. The idea is to get rid of the knight, right? We can very simply move here, and of course maybe the knight will move here. Actually, you know what? That is the best move. Why? Because look at that. They're in a straight line. And I always tell my students, when pieces are in a straight line, hey, find a way to get in between them and create a fork. And here it is. Here's the winning move. Wow. Out of nowhere, it comes out. And guess what? No way. This is even checkmate. We weren't even looking for checkmate, guys. Incredible. We were not even looking for checkmate, and we got the checkmate. Remember, the two ideas here of the winning end game is, one, to get rid of the problem, two, to attack the weak pawn, three, which we never got to, is to create a pass pawn, 4, 5, and 6 is to protect the pass pawn, promote the pass pawn, and checkmate, because you're gonna get a queen within 4 or 6 moves. You're gonna have checkmate. That's the whole idea. But guess what? We didn't even get to do step number 3, step number 4, step number 5, step number 6. We went from step number 2. We didn't even do step number 2. We went right from step number 1 to step number 6. So wow, let's look at this. Hey, this is a cool puzzle, man. So we attack it. The knight goes, for instance, he goes here. Well, I thought it was a good move. He goes here, he runs into here, and there we go. And of course, the knight's got to move. He can't go anywhere. And guess what? Obviously, the knight and rook checkmate pattern. Here we go. He can't go here. He can't go here, because this rook's controlling this whole thing. It's protected by this knight, and this knight's also hitting this square, and this little pawn here is attacking this pawn, that square, and protecting the knight. Checkmate. Incredible. When you play according to chess theory, the magic is going to happen. When your pieces go to good squares, the magic is going to happen, guys. Checkmate. 4 moves. Who would have figured that? Who would have figured that? In 4 moves, you have a checkmate. Man, I'm gonna save this one for one of my students, man. But it's true. Attack, get rid of the problem. He moves out of the way. You go here. He moves out of the way. You attack it. By the way, if he would have protected, I would have just captured, because the idea is to get rid of your problem. And then, of course, you push the pawn. Why? Because you want to get rid of pawns. He goes here. You're still winning. You got 2 pawns to 1. He can't go here because he's going to lose. He comes up here. Here comes the king. He comes right here. No problem. Check with the pawn. And guess what? Check, check, check. He's got to go there. And I wish we could push pawn. Or we have a check. Or we can even go this way. Doesn't matter. If he attacks it, hey, we can give away the pawn. No big deal. He goes here. We opposition, stopping the king here wherever he goes. We can do this. Right? We can do this. We offer him the pawn. He goes here. He moves here. We move in front. He moves here, and there it is. 1, 2, 3, and bang, it's over. Simple, simple, simple. And there might have been a better move, but hey, that's the move. He moves here. We move there. He moves here. We move there. He moves here. That's the queen. And like I said, 4 to 6 move. It's over. Those of you that have studied with me know this position really well. You don't give a check. You create a little box, or the queen moves a knight away from the king. And you do that, and so you're controlling the squares around the king. The king is forced to go in this direction. He goes there. Opposition. He moves here. The famous sandwich. 2 pieces of bread and a peanut butter. Here's the piece of bread. Here's the piece of bread. And the king is the peanut butter and jelly. The king is forced to go there, and you have the checkmate. Very simple. Simple stuff. Chess make Simple. That's why my kids win, guys, because I make it very simple for them to understand what the deal. Let's do another one. Let's do an oops. Let me go here. Let's do another puzzle. All right. So let's clear the board. Let's say let's put the king here. Let's put a couple of pawns. I like working with pawns. Pawns are super cool. All right, so let's go right here. Let's go with that one, and maybe he's got an extra pawn. King's there, and let's just leave it at that. Hey, that's pretty cool. All right, 4 pawns versus 3 pawns. Obviously, we have an advantage right there, right? We have an advantage, and so with that set, every time you have an extra pawn, the game should be won. So with pawns, guys, you want to make sure that you always establish either a knight side pawn or isolated pawn or a decoy pawn, a pawn that's free to move so that it can become so that it can promote to a queen, right? So here, this is even, this are even, and this are even. This is an outside pawn. Boom, he can make it this way. Now, it's not easy, but let's see what happens here. So white to move, what can we do? Do we push? Nah. Do we push? Maybe. Or do we just push? Let's just say push here. That stops this pawn from moving. If he captures, no big deal. Now, if he captures, do we capture with the pawn or do we capture with the king? What do you suggest? Huh? What do you think? Do we capture with the pawn or do we capture with the king? Huh? Well, if we capture with the pawn, we'll have 1-2 versus 1, and this is blocked. Let's just play it that way. Let's see what happens. Let's say he goes here, king moves here. What do we do here? We can move the king. We don't have to do this. He can't go here, he can't go there. If he goes there, we just push, right? So let's say he moves here. What do? We attack the pawn. Now he's stuck, and there we go. Boom, there we go. We create a decoy pawn. He captures, and there it is. This guy's a pass pawn, but he's also a decoy. This king must go after him. So let's say he goes after him. We just simply capture. He captures, and we get ahead of the king, and we start protecting the squares where the pawn's going to march. Let's say he goes after the pawn. No problem. This one's easy. Look at that. He's protected. Here it is. And you can go all the way. It's a race, and we get a queen. Not a problem. Hey, Silvia, ¿cómo te va? Buenas noches. Silvia de Argentina. Hola, hola, hola. Aquí una noche de ajedrez. ¿Cómo te va? And you go that way. Okay, so what else can happen? What else can happen? Let me go back here. Let me go to this one. Okay. So let's say we went he captures, right? Okay. So let's say if we captured with the king instead. Different scenario. We capture with the king. Again, let's say he goes here. So what do we got? Okay, we can go here, right? We can go here. He's got a capture. He goes here. We go there. What do? Do we push? No. Do we push? No. So what do? He can't go here, can't go there. So let's say we go here. What happens here? Now, if he goes here, we simply go there. He starts coming this way. No problem. We go opposition, and he can't touch this guy. So he goes after this, and we push. He captures, and we're gone. He moves out of the way. He's got to move this way, or he's going to get into check. He goes here, we go here, and there, queen. He goes here. Now, this is what makes it a hard position, but it's a win position for white. Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo te va? Muy bien. So, esta es la situación right here. We need to stop this con from going here. So, this is very simple. The idea is to create an N. The idea is to create an N in this position at some point. And the idea is to force this king to get in front of the pawn. And every time the black king gets in front of the black pawn, the king moves closer and closer until he gets to one of these squares, and then the queen captures either with a checkmate, or he just simply captures the pawn and checkmate 3 moves later. One of those is the position. So here we need to stop the pawn from moving here. We can immediately go into this position. Look at that. Because if the pawn pushes, gets queen, queen takes queen. Problem solved. So that is the first move. So obviously he's going to go there. So can the pawn move? No. So that gives us our first move. The king moves forward. Now, He moves here, right? Now he can push. So, like I said, we create an N, right? Kind of like an N. So we go back here. Let's say he goes here. So what do we do? Look at this. Boom. There it is. We're attacking. What does the king need to do? He needs to go here, right? And so what do we do now? We go here. And guess what? He's got to go there again. And there the king comes closer. He goes here. Oops. What do we do? Oh, there it is. Look at that. Freebie. We're again. We're working with this N. We're working with this N here, and he's got to go here. And there's the move right there. He moves out of the way. We got the check. He moves out of the way. We simply follow the there, and wherever he goes, it doesn't matter. We have the checkmate. Cool. Interesting, right? But you gotta know. You gotta know. You gotta know the moves. You gotta know the moves. Let's see what was it? What was it? This one? I know it was king captures, right? And you gotta know the moves because if you don't practice this stuff, there it is, and the pawn's gonna go queen. That's where it starts, right there. In most cases, black queens, and this game turns into a draw. Most cases. Uh, Beginners, I mean, I would say under 1,000, this position would be a draw. Because unless white knows how to do this, and in most cases they don't, because most cases they probably will go push pawn, and this guy will go check, and he goes here, and maybe check, and he goes here, and maybe he goes check, and there's the draw. Boom, there. Queen takes queen, king takes draw. That's normally how this is played, guys. That's normally the case. So the idea here is to know how to do this. And how do you know this? You call Coach Ray to teach you. Because quite frankly, it's not when you go to practice, guys, if you're just setting up the board and playing a game of chess with your opponent, and then you get a checkmate, and then you start another game, you ain't gonna get any better. And Alan will tell you, very few times in our practices did we ever play a complete game. Very few times. I would either set up positions and we played it from there. Of course, they were notating, or we would do drills. Drill, 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 drill. Positions like this, we will drill them out until they were sick and tired of it, until they knew it by heart. Because when you get to the end game, first of all, what if you're running out of time? If you're running out of time in this position, you lose. You can lose the game, because let's say you run out of time, and even though you have the queen, as long as the other guy has a pawn, that's a win for him. Now, if he doesn't have any pawns, then it's a draw, even if he wins on time. So you got to know what you're doing. You got to know exactly what you're doing. So again, I'll play another move. Let's say we go here. Boom. All right, he goes here. Okay, we get closer. Let's say you mess up. Okay, there it is. Finally, there's the position. He goes here. Boom, there it is. And there it is. He's got to go here, and there comes the king. Let's say he moves here. Okay, we got to stop him. So what do we go? We can maybe go here. And he's got to go down. Maybe he goes down, and there it is again. And say he goes here, we attack. Oh no, we have to go check. He goes here, and there it is. And he's forced to go there. King comes closer. He goes here. There it is. Boop. He's forced to go there. Here's the king. He runs away. So we have the check. He goes here, and we have the check on the other side. It's not magic, guys. It's science. It's just the way it is. These are patterns that are there all the time. You just got to learn the patterns. Does that make sense? All right, enough of that one. Let's do another one here. Clear the board. All right, let's do another one. Let's say let's do one another decoy pawn. I like the decoy ones because normally that's here we just put a couple of pawns there. Let's see, we'll put the king away here. Okay, let's do that. All right. All right. You know what? Let's make it interesting. Let's put two pawns. There you go. Something like that. Or let's put them back here. All right. Something like that. All right. Cool. Analyze. Boom. White to move. Again, you have a pawn advantage. You have the win. All right. Now, position of the king in the end game is very important. The king must be active. That means the king must run towards the center to be able to get to the weak pawn. To the weak pawn. Does that make sense? In the center, he's able to create more attacks, and that's what he wants to do when he comes into play. So white to move, hey, we could just push the king. We don't have to push the pawns. It's not a race, guys. Take your pawn. A lot of times I see a lot of young players and even experienced players push pawns like crazy. I was telling one of my students today, we were dealing with a what was it, a c5 pawn. Yeah, we were dealing with a C5 pawn that's protected, like in the Bonomi and all of that. But it was a C5 pawn. Yeah, it was a C5 pawn. And I told him, don't push that pawn. I know you can push it, and I know it's safe on that square. But if it gets attacked, who's going to protect him? Who's going to protect him on the next square? Who's going to protect him on the next square? No, save it. Eventually, you will push it. Win where you're strong. And where were you strong? He was strong on d5. He was strong on the queen side. I said, push and keep working on that imbalance. On that imbalance there. So yeah, that's the move. The king moves closer because he wants to come to the center, and then he's going to decide: is he going to go after the pawns? Is he going to help these two pawns? See what happens. Let's say we have a pusher. Boom, pawn pushes. Okay. Whenever you push a pawn, the pawn becomes weaker. Or a lot of times you create holes. There you go. There's a hole there. So the king can go here, can go there, can go here, can go there, and boom, and now he's able to capture both of these guys, and then eventually capture this, and then push pawn queen. Very simple, you know. So what's the move here? You don't attack. You don't do this. Just leave the pawns alone. Move the king. The king is where the power comes in. There's no pieces to attack the king. Let the king do his job now. So let's say the king goes here and he decides to be brave now. So what do we do? Okay, we can control. We can push the pawn if we want to, or not. We can just leave it alone. Do we have a win here? We already have a win here. The king cannot touch any of these squares, right? So let's try a bit of opposition. Let's forget the king. Let's say the king goes this way, we can go that way. He goes this way, we can go that way. He goes here, we can go here. He captures, we capture. He captures. What do we do? Forget this move. Push the pawn. He moves. Hey, there we go. Uh-oh, this is gonna be a goodie. Look at this. This who's gonna queen first? Boom. And queen and queen. And what's the move? You got it. Check where? Do we check here? No. We want to check all the way up here because now we're controlling this whole line and the king must go this way. And of course, we create a skewer. And once the skewer wins, queen takes queen, king takes, you take pawn, and boop, queen again, and it's over in I don't know, whatever times. One, two, three, four, five, maybe another 6 moves, checkmate. Let's see if we can checkmate in 12 moves. He goes here, we go. 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 He's not gonna capture. Let's say he stays there. Boom, there it is. All right, so there he goes. Let's say he goes here. Oh, we create our sandwich, or actually even all the way here, stopping all of this. So let's say he goes here. Oh, here we go. Opposition check like a rook. The 3 pieces create an L, and he's got to drop. The king comes over, attacks like a knight, a queen attacking like a knight, and he goes here. There it is, boom, and there it is, and boom, pow, and we got a checkmate. Boom. I don't know. It was 27, move 27. We started this action in 16 to 26 would be 10, 11 moves, guys. What do I tell you, man? It's science. You know, I give you a number, it's gonna happen. You know, I gave one of my students from California. I told him, hey, I need you to practice. I need you to practice king and rook checkmates in different positions, and they all must be done within 15 moves. Checkmate within 15 moves. And so far, he's got about 3 of them right. And so, but you know, when you get to that level, you go to the tournament, no thinking, boom, 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 boom. You're relying on what you know, acquired knowledge, acquired knowledge. What shirt is this? What color is this shirt? Blue, orange, purple, yellow. No, blue. You know it's blue because you've learned it when you were little. You learn your colors. You learn your numbers. 2 plus 2. What can 2 plus 2 be? 5. Duh. You know it. It's acquired knowledge. It's up here. And so chess patterns, chess endings, just like chess openings, can be acquired knowledge, and you have it up here already. Does that make sense, guys? Cool deal. And so, guys, you know, it's cool, man. It's cool. Let me stop sharing here and let's go close up here. And guys, I just wanted to come in and say again, let me review the end game skills. There we go. End game 6. Remember the 6 winning ideas. Idea number 1, get rid of your problem. Your opponent's pieces is your problem. Idea number 2, attack the weak pawn, the unprotected pawn. Step number 3 would be create a pass pawn. A pass pawn is a pawn that cannot be blocked or captured or attacked by an opponent's pawn. That pawn has freedom to go straight. Of course, he must be protected all the way until he queens. He reaches the queening square. The queening square is the square where the pawn will promote and become a queen. Now, you can under promote the pawn. He can become a rook. He could become a knight or a bishop. But hey, you know, you get a pawn to the 8th rank, queen it. All right. Step number 4, again, protect the pass pawn. Step number 5, promote the pass pawn. That means the pass pawn has landed on the queening square, and you're promoting it to either a rook, a knight, a bishop, or a queen. Of course, queen is the number 1 choice. And then, of course, after that, once you queen, you get the checkmate in 4 to 6 moves. So those are the 6 steps, guys. Something you guys, as you're playing, I was telling one of my primary student today, it's like every time it's your turn, look for checkmate. Look to control the squares around the king. And remember, one of the patterns, the easiest pattern is the queen in front of the bad king, the queen protected by a piece, by a pawn, or by the king. And once you see that pattern, hey, go for it. And we were working man, it was really cool because we were working on 7th rank checkmates that were with a rook, with a queen coming in, maybe a rook coming in, maybe a knight coming in, and there was pawns in front of the king with rooks, with 1 rook protecting. And the idea was to sacrifice. Let me show you. You know what? Let me share with you because I thought this was really interesting, and this is something that if there's any other coaches out there that might want to try some stuff like that, I'm always um, it's your sponsors and all that help you guys to clear the board here. So anyway, we were working on let's see, let's put a couple of pawns here, maybe a pawn there, maybe a pawn there, and then maybe this guy here and this guy there, and let's put a knight. Let's say this guy was here, this guy was there, and let's say this guy was here, and then maybe this guy is there. And then let's say the knight went here. Oh, wait a minute. This guy was here. No. I think he was there. Or maybe there. I don't know. Or maybe there. Or maybe, I don't know. Something like that. Something like that. I don't know. But anyway, let's say this guy goes here for the checkmate. This guy goes there. Right? And of course, the knight were to go here. Let's say the knight goes here. And of course, maybe this guy goes there. Right? And so what was the move here? Uh, maybe this guy would come in, or maybe we would come in this way, and that would force this guy to go this way, and then whatever we would do here. Maybe we have this check, and he can't go here, can't go there. He's got to drop down. Maybe he drops down in here, and of course, if he drops down in here, then we have the checkmate. Oops, what do we do? Oh, wait a minute. It was here. We would have the checkmate right here, something like that. The other one we were working on is, of course, let's say Hold on, let me go here. And all right. So Aquila. Hold on. Let me clear the board again. And let's say it was like this, and maybe this. Uh, and ah, the idea, of course, hold on. This is a queen. Hold on. You can't start until you have a king there. All right, something like this. Da, 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 da. And the idea is to create checkmates on the seventh rank somehow. Create checkmates on the seventh rank. So maybe here. Mm, Hold on. Here we go. Black to move, black to move, black to move, black to move. So let's put that there. Black to move. Dun 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 dun. Analyze the board. There we go. So maybe the check goes there. Maybe he comes here, and of course, maybe you create this, and boom, there it is, the checkmate. Uh, ideas where they're able to attack the house and destroy it and go right in. There was one in particular one that I really liked, that it was a knight here. I think it was a knight there, and a pawn there, and maybe this guy here. Yeah, maybe it was something like this. I'm not too sure. I don't remember it too much, but it did a really good job of it. Yeah, I think it was here, and yeah, it was here because it created a checkmate in case if the king moved over. So he had the capture, and then from here we had the what was the move here? I don't know if it was check here. He goes there, and of course there's the checkmate because he's got to go here to protect, and of course you go check. He's gotta maybe he moves here, and we have the checkmate there. So that was the variation there. That drills like that, guys, especially when you're talking about beginners, man, under 1,000 rated players, lots of drills like that will definitely help them because they need to learn to hunt the king, guys. Hunt the king is, man, the king hunt, man. It just they just need to learn to hunt the king. And so what can I say? Those of you that are players that have younger siblings, practice stuff like that with them. Don't just play with them, like a game. Just get into the drills, especially if you're my students. You know what drills we play. Practice those drills with your kids and save your parents some money on lessons. Yeah, I don't mind. You know, um, a lot of times I'll have an older kid show his little sister, how to notate and stuff like that. Why pay me to teach you notate when you already have a student in your house that already knows that? Bring him to so that I can drill him, so that I can encourage him, so that I can mentor them, so that I can turn them into champions. But simple stuff like notating and learning how to move the pieces, you can do that at home, save some money. Um, but anyway, so guys, hope you enjoyed it. Again, I'm gonna start doing some lessons. I mean, not lessons, but I'm doing lessons every day. But I'm gonna start doing some chess again, and see how that goes. I know my friend Alan, National Master Alan Cotter, is going to start a chess show as well. In fact, he called me, but he didn't plan it for tonight. And so I said, hey, we were going to do it, but he hadn't done it. And so I said, you know what, let's do it anyway. And so, he got busy doing something else. And I said, you know what, I'm doing you got me in the mood to doing a chess show. So I'm doing a chess show tonight. And so, hey, it's a matter of hitting the string yard, boom, 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 and we get it done. So anyway, guys, I will let you go with that, and hope you guys have a great time. And again, let me set up the music, and guys, it is over. Have a good evening, guys. Good luck for you girls that are playing the tournament tomorrow, and those of you that want to hit me up for some lessons this weekend, I'll be available. I'm going to be at the library tomorrow at 10 for one lesson, and then I don't know what else I'm going to be doing. But good night. Bye bye.